What's good, YouTube? Masex back with another video. Today we're going to be looking at the top 10 prospects going into the 2025 college football season. These 10 prospects are eligible for the 2026 class, so that means no freshmen, no true sophomores. This is based on Pro Football Focus, so we're going to take a look at that with the 10th ranked prospect and work our way up to their number 1 prospect heading into the college football season. If you're new to this channel, definitely hit the like and subscribe button. Help support this channel. Trying to work our way to 2K subscribers, and I know we can get there, of course. Appreciate all the OGs returning to review this video. I definitely appreciate y'all. At this stage, I pretty much know most of y'all by your name handle, so definitely shout out to y'all. We're going to take a look at this, man. Really, at this point, I think you pretty much get the gist of what we're getting ready to do. Top 10 prospects. Let's go ahead and get to it. And without further ado, let's get to it. All right, let's go ahead and get things started. Once again, this is according to Pro Football Focus. And at number 10, we got Spencer Fano, offensive tackle out of Utah, listed at 6'5", 304 pounds. Fano overall had a Pro Football Focus grade of 93.0. By far, he's the best run blocking offensive lineman in the class so far. And Pro Football Focus gave him a score of 93.6, which is elite. So that let me know that my eyes weren't deceiving me, or at least I have some backing with that. And that was around 3 or 4 points higher than the next closest offensive lineman when it comes to run blocking scores. 79.5 in pass blocking, which 79.5, don't get me wrong, that's not bad at all. That's a pretty decent grade, but he's not elite in that category. I'm not sure. I don't know the measurements. Maybe there's some arm length concerns. Maybe that's a red flag towards that, why there's such a discrepancy between the pass blocking and the run blocking grade. But he's dominant overall as a 19-year-old sophomore last year. All right, at number 9, we're going to stay on the offensive line, and we got Francis Mauigoa out of Miami, listed at 6'6", 315 pounds. Played right tackle since he's 18-year-old true freshman. A lot of experience under his belt. 13 games as a true freshman, and he was born into the football family as an American Samoan. And Mauigoa is the opposite, I'd say, of Fano, as he, in my opinion, is an elite pass blocker, but run blocking definitely leaves a little bit to be desired. It needs to catch up to his pass blocking skill set. Now, Pro Football Focus gave him a score of 71.4 on his run blocking. Once again, that's not horrible, but that's not the best in the world. Pass blocking overall, very good, very fluid. Only allowed 2 sacks on 534 snaps. I feel like with a true junior year added to his experience belt that he has already, Mauigoa is definitely a candidate to be offensive tackle number 1 when we're talking about the NFL draft next year. All right, at number 8, we got one of my favorite guys in the entire class. He's fun to watch, and that's Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. Pro Football Focus gave him a score of 89.6, second amongst all corners. Great ball skills. I know last year, 4 interceptions. He's an athletic freak. Gave him a grade of 99.9 based on Pro Football Focus's athletic score metrics. He did tear his ACL in the bowl season era, late December, early January. Not sure, honestly, if that's going to affect him looking forward. But when you look at his tape prior to the ACL tear, I mean, the guy was really elite. Of course, we're going to have to monitor that, see if he can bounce back from that. But if he is, I mean, we're talking CB1. All right, moving up to number 7, Pro Football Focus has none other than Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame, listed at 6 foot even, 206 pounds. If you already watched my running back video that I recently posted, obviously Jeremiah Love was in that video. 91 Pro Football Focus grade, 38% forced missed tackle rate on almost 7 yards per carry. I mean, if you watch the playoffs, that's when he really broke out and became more of a household name. His listed size is very solid. It's like the average size of a future NFL running back, 6 foot, close to 210 pounds. Really good top end speed, athletic as hell. You watch his highlight tape, he's hurdling all over the place. I think if there are going to be some day 1 running backs, though not as deep of a class as last year, I do think that Jeremiah Love would be that one running back that's drafted day 1. All right, moving up to number 6, we're getting back in the trenches on the offensive line. We got Caden Proctor out of Alabama, listed at a massive 6'7", 369 pounds. This offensive tackle is huge. His listed measurables out of the gate is always going to draw some attention. The ears are going to perk from GMs and scouts when you got a guy this massive moving the way that he does. Still, with that being said, it's still a learning curve, especially playing in the SEC. Freshman year was a welcome to Division I type of intro. It was pretty rough, but he settled in, he got experience. You could see his confidence grow over the course of that freshman year, and he moved so well. Now, he's a bit of a projection piece, in my opinion, at this stage. He hasn't shown elite skill sets yet, but you're projecting onto that in future. Make no doubt about it. With the skill set and potential that Proctor has, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could be a top 3 pick when it comes time next April. All right, now we're in PFF's top 5, and at number 5, we got a quarterback, and that's Cade Klubnik out of Clemson. Klubnik, another prospect that I talked about in the quarterbacks video. If you haven't checked that out already, go ahead and take a look at that with the quarterbacks. Cade Klubnik out of Clemson, 6'2", 210 pounds. His true senior year, I've talked about, I wasn't really buying him coming out his freshman year. He did have a lot of hype. True sophomore year, I didn't really think that he was all that. I thought he was pretty overrated. But last year as a junior in 2024, definitely bounced back. 36 passing touchdowns. Only Cam Ward and Shadur Sanders threw more touchdowns in the nation than him last year. He can also run the ball, so he's got that dual threat capability. I do want him to get a little bit bigger and stronger. He's listed at 210 pounds, so maybe he's okay. He just doesn't look 210 pounds to me. But at the end of the day, he's got the skill set. He has the potential. He realistically could be the number 1 pick next year. Now at number 4, we're going to stay at the quarterback position because Cade Klubnik is not Pro Football Focus's top-rated quarterback. That's Arch Manning. Now, if you follow college football remotely, you know who Arch Manning is. The Manning lineage. People have been ready for him to come to the NFL since his junior or senior year of high school. He's listed at 6'4", 225, so he's a big boy. Got NFL size at the quarterback position already. Redshirt sophomore year. He's really tough to evaluate. Limited playing time playing behind Quinn Ewers. I always felt that he was better than Quinn Ewers from a talent perspective, but it's a much lower sample size. But I respect also the loyalty to Quinn Ewers. But I think that Arch Manning would have provided a higher ceiling. I think we're going to see that this year. Started 2 games last year when Quinn was out. ULM and Mississippi State, 2 very much inferior squads compared to how good Texas was last year. But Pro Football Focus gave him an 88.1, and that's 13th amongst all quarterbacks with at least 200 throws. 16th in big throw rate. That means that he's not afraid to chuck the ball down the field, make those big plays. I mean, as a fan, but even as a staff, you gotta love a quarterback that's willing to hang in there and make the big play. Of course, that can get you in trouble sometimes, but you gotta love that confidence. He's a legit dual threat. I had mentioned in the quarterbacks video because people were hyping up his athleticism, unlike Eli Manning and Peyton Manning, and I didn't really see it in high school, but he's made a lot of runs in college through his first couple years in package plays, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this dude is dual threat. He is like his dad. He is like his grandpa. So he's my favorite player in this class. Being an Indiana guy, I have an affinity with the Manning lineage, so I just can't wait to watch this guy play next year. All right, we're working our way into Pro Football Focus's top 3 now. Number 3, we got Peter Woods out of Clemson. Interior defensive lineman, listed at 6'3", 315 pounds. The dude's nasty. Another Clemson guy in this list. I think Clemson's projected to have a really big year next year. He played edge last year and still earned an 83.3 according to Pro Football Focus. Interior defensive lineman is Peter Woods' natural position, and that's where he has the highest grade. Pro Football Focus gives him almost a 90 when he's in the inside. 15% pressure rate the last 2 years, one of the best in the nation. I really don't see why that's going to change. Realistically, can be a top 3 pick. Very disruptive, plays the run and the pass. He's one of my favorite defensive prospects in the entire class. All right, we got number 2, and that's TJ Parker, his teammate out of Clemson. A true edge rusher, 6'3", 265 pounds. That's elite size as the edge rusher. To be that explosive, but still be 260, 270 pounds is a hell of a combination, especially in college football. You saw it in the statistics. 12 sacks last year. Probably would have been a top 5 pick if he was able to come out this year. And he's not just a pass rush specialist. He plays the run as well. Pro Football Focus gave him a +80 against the run. When you have somebody that size, size that can get after the passer, but also make an impact in the running game. On the edge, that's really not something that just grows off of trees. TJ Parker's the real deal. All right, and Pro Football Focus's #1 prospect heading into the 2025 season is none other than Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State, listed at 6 foot, 205 pounds. True freshman year at Bama, transferred to Ohio State, excellent decision, balled out and won a natty. If he sounds familiar, at least his last name, that's because he's the younger brother of NFL wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts, Josh Downs. And Downs for sure is one of the best defensive prospects in the nation, but you could definitely say that he is legitimately the best player in college football just all the way around. To me, undoubtedly, he's the best safety prospect since Kyle Hamilton. Could be better than Kyle Hamilton if we're being honest. Pro Football Focus gave him an overall grade of 91.7. He's elite in coverage with a grade of 91. He's elite in the run with a grade of 88. So he does both. He's what you call a dual threat safety. He honestly, to me, would be a day one corner if he said, I don't want to play safety. Let me line up on the outside against every offense's #1 wide receiver. He's that fluid. He's that athletic. He's that tenacious, and he plays very competitive. You saw him seal the deal in the national championship game, picking off Quinn Ewers. Safeties don't go in the first round too often, if we're being honest. They definitely don't really go in the top 10. But if there is a safety that's going to go top 10, top 7, top 8, it's going to be Caleb Downs. And all right, there you have it. These are Pro Football Focus's top 10 prospects going into the 2025 season. Let me know what you think about their list. Overall, at this particular stage, unless you do this for a living full time, I mean, I really don't have any disputes with this. I mean, all these guys going in are people, it's like, okay, yep, I knew who that was last year as a sophomore. I knew who that was. This is a really good list. This is a good class overall, in my opinion. We'll see the difference in the summer, June, July, and we'll see what this list looks like in December, January. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Definitely, if you made it this far in the video, I deeply appreciate it. And if you haven't already, definitely help a brother out. Like, comment, subscribe for sure on the road to 2K. I appreciate my OGs, and I appreciate you if you're new for watching and supporting the channel. We got the next video coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, I hope y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Cheat!